fight left in me for you, boy.
Not enough. Not nearly. You enjoy yourself? Still having fun? Answer me!
What an episode. What a goddamn episode. This was literally Omni-Man versus Mark 2.0. This is literally the 2.0 version of what happened in the end of season 1. But of course, this time, Mark is not going against his father. He's going against a completely different Viltrumite. No connections to him, no relation. Doesn't care what happens to this planet. Doesn't care what happens to him or his brother or anything like that. So honestly, while watching this episode, it was like the parallels between that fight in season 1 and this fight. It's almost like they're trying to showcase the growth of Mark, and I guess see if he changed as a person, or I guess just show somewhat of a progression in whatever way they try to do that. Like, one thing that really made me think about the connection between both fights was especially when they were battling between different places and they were just crashing through buildings and through cities, and then oh my lord, especially that scene when he dragged Mark across the ocean or beach or whatever, and it just went through a bunch of people, just killing everybody basically. I was like, god damn, Mark. Like, they haven't even recovered from the multiple Marks from all the multiverses and everything, and then now people are still dying, like having to deal with this. Like, that's insane. And I have to go back to my question in my last video. Who carries a bigger burden than Mark? Who the hell goes through more shit than Mark? Like, back to back, like just consistently. Like, this is insane. Like, I really thought he was about to lose Eve. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I thought it was GG for Eve.
Such a waste.
No!
But comes to find out, she has a limit breaker, you know, unlock her full potential plot armor moment, basically.
Jerk.
Which honestly did more damage to Conquest than like anything Mark did in this whole episode. Like, really, if it wasn't for her limit breaking ability, Mark would have died. Like, seriously. So like, Eve high key saved the day. But back to Mark. I realized that this show doesn't care about Mark's feelings. The writers are the true antagonists because they don't care about his feelings at all. Like, what like what other show, what other character has back to back like GG moments, like GG episodes? You're crying, you're emotional, a lot is happening, and then you have to deal with that again, or even worse in the following episode. Like, that's insane. Like, imagine one episode a version of you injures your girlfriend, and then in the following episode someone else basically killed your girlfriend, you know, as well as you're still trying to recover the damages from the previous fight and then causing more damage with this fight as well. Mark cannot breathe, he cannot catch a break, and with these back-to-back moments, I honestly can't blame him that he like starting to abandon his morals. Like, you heard him in towards the end of the episode, him talking about how, yeah, like, forget all this, everyone deserves a second chance, I should be holding back and everything. Like, he's like, yo, forget about all of that. If you touch even look at my family, you're done.
You were right about the Maulers. You were right about Angstrom. They hurt so many people, ruined so many lives. Angstrom almost killed you and Mom even. So if anyone else ever puts my family or anyone I love at risk, I won't hesitate to kill them.
And I would like to see what type of energy Mark is going to be in the next season after declaring that, making that type of statement. Because if he truly is going to follow through with that, then I wonder how that's going to impact Oliver's development and growth as a character. Because that's kind of leaning towards what Oliver believes in. And of course, what Omni-Man was originally telling Mark to do. But now, speaking of Oliver, this was a reality check for Oliver. This was his humbling moment. And every kid needs that. Like, especially if you're a kid with powers, you think you could do everything. Like, even normal kids think they could do everything. So imagine a kid with powers. They could, of course, they're gonna think they could do whatever they want to do, or defeat anything they wanted to defeat. So I wonder how this event, this moment, is gonna impact Oliver. Maybe not at all. It doesn't seem like. I mean, we know he has a vivid memory, like he can remember a lot of things, but I don't know if he's gonna learn any lessons from this fight. Like, Mark was right. Like, he was useless. Like, he was a nuisance. He was a distraction. He could have gotten himself killed.
And you are.
And I hope he learns the lesson that, you know, belief alone can only bring you so far into a fight, into a battle. And it's like motivates him for when he actually fully develops and grows up. He like train his ass off to like never feel useless again or something, you know? Make like a vow or something to always be valuable, always be useful. I could see something like that for Oliver. But like also with this whole training I'm talking about, man, Mark, all that hype, all that build up from the trailer and also episode 1 of how much increased strength, speed, durability, and stamina, and all that endurance, all that buildup of all the increases he made just to still not stand a chance against Viltrumites. Or I guess, well, we don't even know how strong Conquest is compared to all the other Viltrumites. He seems like he's one of the strongest ones out there, especially him stating that other Viltrumites fear him. But it's like after last episode as well as this episode, if the Viltrumite Empire invade and they bring like, let's say 5 maybe is enough, but like let's say 10, because Omni-Man Nolan said that there's like what 50 left in total. But honestly, if they just bring like 5 to 10 Viltrumites, I don't know if they could really survive that. Like maybe if Nolan and Alan were there, of course, but if there's like 10 Viltrumites, let's say, you know, heck, if there was 20, it'd be GG. I feel like. So like seeing how Conquest could do this much damage, like already in crisis mode for his presence alone, I don't know, it's hard for me to predict their chances of victory, especially when the full-on invasion happens. Now that I think about it, do you guys remember the books that Omni-Man left with showing how to defeat a Viltrumite and its weaknesses? Honestly, this episode is Mark's fault, because instead of studying, instead of like reading the books and figuring things out, implementing that into his training, like actually studying and not just, you know, getting stronger in general, he probably would have stayed more of a chance in this fight. Now that I think about it, I just remember that. I would have thought maybe even Oliver would have read those books at least, especially with his memory and of course him admiring his father. Or maybe he doesn't know about the books yet, but it would have been crazy if he did and like Mark didn't know, and then Oliver like gave Mark a hint or something, or like tells Mark something that's in the books that helps them out in the fight. That would have been crazy. Honestly, I think that would have been better than just having Oliver look useless and weak, you know? But now, as I was speaking about Alan and Nolan and everything, that's one of the main things that I was thinking about during this whole battle in this episode. I was like, damn, they need to show up ASAP. Where are they? They are needed right now. Like, how comes Omni-Man can't just appear on Earth just like Conquest? Maybe he was closer, of course, but like, damn, that's all I was thinking about in this whole battle, this whole fight. I was like, damn, they need somebody. They need a hero. But I'm shocked they actually decided not to have Omni-Man or Alan show up in this episode. I would have thought that they would show up at least one more time in this season to kind of showcase that there's hope for Earth, but I guess not yet. You know, we gotta wait for next season for that one. But yeah, as we notice towards the end of this episode, there's obviously more conflict, more problems to deal with in the next season, not just the Viltrumite Empire, of course. And I hope Mark is ready for it. I hope he is. Like, honestly, the only thing I'm thinking about right now is I feel feel like he's more locked in with his relationship with Eve than actually being prepared for the future of Earth and being his protector, you know? That's kind of my only concern with Mark. It seems like that's the case. You know what really confirmed it to me is Rex's funeral. Eve was pouring her heart out for Rex. Rex was her first. Of course she's gonna be upset that he died and everything. And you know what Mark did? Mark didn't go up to the podium, you know, even though Rex was probably his like best friend in terms of superheroes, like in terms of people with powers, that's probably his best friend. But no, all he did was just hear Eve out and how upset she is, how she feels about Rex, and all he had to say is, you know, I'm glad that you're still here. That's all I'm happy about. Like, what? How he made the funeral for his so-called friend, for his girlfriend's ex, about their relationship. That's insane. And that's what I'm worried about. I feel like he's more motivated to be with Eve than to be an actual hero, an actual protector of Earth. He's not locked in. But we'll see in the next season. I hope I'm wrong. I am hoping I'm wrong about that part. I don't know if them showing like Eve's powers on Mark's suit, showcasing like her limit break might be a problem in the future. I don't know about that. Of course, we've seen Battle Beast. It seems like he's gonna return, or I think this is showcasing Battle Beast because I believe he's about to have his own show. I think you're right. That is the case. So it's probably because of that. Of course, we've seen some like demon stuff coming along. Like that's probably gonna be something for the next season. We have no idea what that is about. When I was seeing that scene with the demons and everything, all I could think about is the demon detective from season 1. I kind of missed the guy. Like he was super valuable, super useful, and everything. This man knew everything from the get-go, but no one listened to him in season 1. So I hope he returns in the next season. Of course, Agro Levy is like still out there. He's back. We don't know what he's about to do next. If he already coming out swinging with multiple marks, then whatever he comes out next, then that is gonna be insane. And I think Mark is just gonna finish the job next time. So yeah, you let me know your thoughts on this final episode, your thoughts on this season as a whole. I honestly think that this season was just pure action packed. Like there was just a lot going on, honestly, all at one time. Like every episode had its own theme, its own focus, and it didn't really feel like everything flowed together as much as I thought it would. Like honestly, each episode felt like different in a way. It had its own focus for the most part. What I'm probably gonna do is I'm probably gonna have episode tier list coming out soon, maybe in a week or two, ranking each episode, which ones I think were the best, which one I like more than the other, and then, you know, give my reasons and my in-depth thoughts on each episode. And then that's probably where I'm gonna rank this show as a whole and give my full-on thoughts on what I think about the season. But yeah, let's have a discussion in the comment section down below. Like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.